Okay, let's talk NBA awards predictions. I'm holding the mic today because I kind of want to lean back. It's been a long week, and this has been one of the toughest videos to kind of record. I'm not doing this based off of any written script. I usually, if you didn't know, I write out a little bit of a script, so I have talking points, so I know what I'm talking about sometimes, even though the videos will even turn out just pretty chaotic and scattered. I don't got time for that today. I got a lot going on. If you can't tell, I'm very tired, but I still want to get these every other day videos out for you, and this is what I love doing. This is how I relax, is editing, which sounds crazy. If you make content or you make videos, some people think it's strenuous work. I think it just keeps my mind going. But I've changed my mind on the MVP, and we'll get into that in a minute. But I want to start off with Coach of the Year. It's going to be Monty Williams, but I do want to show some love to a guy named Nick Nurse, who has consistently been one of the best coaches in the NBA and did shut down my favorite player in the league, which was Jalen Green, because he throws these chaotic lineups and these massive, no one's shorter than 6'9" type of lineups. It's ridiculous to watch. But Monty Williams should be a unanimous Coach of the Year. I mean, not a lot of people were expecting the Suns to be the first seed once again, and I give them a lot of props in my previous video. A lot of props to Devin Booker and CP3. I mean, shout out to that organization for turning things around. I don't know if they're a good organization overall, but I mean, the players and the coaches have done a fantastic job, and Monty Williams has definitely stepped up as a head coach, and I think he did the best of what he could in the finals, and he did a fantastic job in the playoffs. And I think any Lakers fan that specifically says that if AD was healthy, they would have lost that series, you and the Nets, who both say, oh, well, if KD's foot was a little bit shorter, y'all can go sit in a corner and cry, because I could not feel any sympathy for those two fan bases right now. But let's move on. Sixth Man of the Year is pretty unanimous as well. We got Tyler Hero. He's averaging 20 off the bench. He's practically a Jamal Crawford-like role. He's playing fantastic basketball, and he's a main catalyst on why that team is a #1 seed. Look at that. We're talking about two #1 seeds. But I don't need to get into this too much because it's pretty much unanimously known that those two should be pretty unanimous. I mean, shout out to a couple guys that could be in that six-man rotation, but I think it's pretty clear that Tyler Hero should be that guy. I want to put most improved player. A lot of people have had guys like Ja Morant, but it's such a tough conversation for most improved. I've seen a lot of people show some love to a guy like Jordan Poole, someone that we had kind of been waiting for to kind of pop off. I think personally, I would give it to DeJounte Murray. He's been a bright spot for the Spurs and one of the most interesting players to watch, and that's coming from a Rockets fan. I don't want to give a bunch of Spurs fans some hope, but they've done a pretty damn good job, and I think the Spurs are kind of setting themselves up for an interesting future. I don't know if it's a good future, but I like what DeJounte Murray's done. He's also come back from an ACL tear, and he's been one of the best players. Now, you could disagree, and you can easily say Darius Garland, or I wouldn't be mad at you if you said Jordan Poole, but personally, I think DeJounte Murray has more of an effect on his team, and Jordan Poole has had a lot of opportunity to kind of be that guy that can get up as many shots as possible, especially with Clay's absence, and he's made the most of it. Don't get me wrong, and maybe it's because I've watched more Spurs games than the average person, or I haven't watched enough Jordan Poole highlights, but personally, I would put DeJounte ahead. Defensive Player of the Year gets super interesting. I've gone back and forth between Marcus Smart and Mikal Bridges. I think that there's a lot of good options there. I mean, you could put Giannis in there. You could put a lot of guys in there. But personally, I'm going to lean towards Mikal Bridges. I'm showing a lot of Suns love, which I didn't think I'd be doing on this channel a ton of. But I think Mikal Bridges has been a baller. But, man, it's so tough because you want to give credit to somebody on that Celtics team for turning things around as well. And I honestly love Marcus Smart for all of his antics, so I'm going to give it to him. I think I'm going to give some love to the Celtics now that is based off of no stats, and a lot of it is just me talking and thinking out loud. So if you get mad at me in the comments, I don't care. I'm chilling. I'm big chilling. This is a very relaxed video. Usually you see me all hyped up, but I kind of want to just vibe out. Is that okay? Can we have a chill conversation? If you want to talk in the comments, man, I wake up and go to class, and the first thing I'll pull up is my channel dashboard, and I'll go see what y'all are saying. Now, I see everything that y'all be saying about the Lamar Jackson video, which is one of the most popular videos on the channel, so I mean, it is the most popular video on the channel, and some of the things y'all say are blasphemy that I can't even respond to. But if you got something to say about me picking Marcus Smart as Defensive Player of the Year, let me know. I'd love to respond and have an actual dialogue about that. I think it's an interesting conversation. I mean, all the awards this year are very interesting, except for Coach of the Year and I think Sixth Man of the Year. And I think I'm missing a couple. I mean, we could talk about Comeback Player of the Year, but I'm not too interested in that. I feel like I'm blanking on. I mean, I'm not going to do all NBA teams because that's a mess. That's another video for another day, and I'm kind of just rapid firing through these. But let's get back to the main conversation, which is going to be the MVP. And I've gone back and forth between like 3 different guys. I mean, for the longest, I had Joel Embiid, like most people. And then you have Giannis, you have Nikola Jokic, and then you have the people that say that Jason Tatum should be in the conversation. Then you have Devin Booker conversations. But the real conversation is that top 3, which is Giannis, Jokic, and Embiid. And Embiid locked up the first scoring title for a center since Shaq, which is something that a lot of voters are going to consider when you make those kind of statistics. A lot of people are going to lean towards that. And I'm not going to make a prediction on what's going to happen. This is more my ballot for a 6-foot-tall white boy that can only shoot threes on the basketball court. This is what, and I'm one, I can only watch the game, and this is what I think. And I've gone back between Giannis and Jokic. I think Embiid's been third on my list for a long time, and I'm not going to bring in the free throws argument. I just think Giannis does more for his team, and I think the Sixers are kind of underwhelming right now. And they were over exceeding expectations, but now because of James Harden, they're under exceeding expectations. And whether or not that falls onto Embiid's shoulders is up in the air. He has played fantastic all year. I mean, am I talking myself into an Embiid MVP conversation? I don't know. But personally, I think Giannis is one of the best players on both sides of the court. Whether you think he's a good offensive player or not, I think he's one of the best mid-range shooters that isn't talked about enough. And he's just so dominant. I mean, you don't drop 50 in a finals game for no reason. But I think for the situation and the circumstance and the story that surrounds Nikola Jokic, I have changed my pick towards him. Not because of stats or basic stats, but we're not going to get into the advanced stats argument because, I mean, he clears a lot of stats, but that's not important. Half the stats I don't know or understand the formulas. I'm just a dum-dum. Like, I'm sorry. But when I watch the game, I mean, head-to-head, he plays fantastic. I've never seen a center make those kinds of passes with such precision, and he's just a remarkable talent. I think he has all the capabilities to win back-to-back MVPs just like Giannis did. And he has gotten better every year, and it's so tough to, personally, at least with me, it's super hard to convince me for a player to win back-to-back MVPs. And Giannis did it because he continually got better from his previous year. Curry did it for me because he got just electrifyingly better the second time he won MVP. And then Jokic, I didn't think he could be a remarkable defensive player, but he's really having an impact on that side of the ball. And he has head and shoulders below all the other rosters that are in contention with this, and he is right up there record wise. Now I understand the West isn't as good as the East as previous years, but he is doing remarkable things. He's breaking records just like Embiid does. Like, we don't need to measure whether a certain record is better than others. We're not going to start that conversation. And if you choose Joel Embiid, I'm not mad at you. Like, let's make this very clear. Whether or not you choose Jokic, Giannis, or Embiid, like, we shouldn't be attacking each other over this. We should just be more happy that for once an MVP conversation is just this in depth. And I'm more disappointed with the NBA members and the media, the particular ones that are showing very underlying xenophobic tendencies, and you know who you are. And whether or not you think it's xenophobic, you do show on television that a lot, and whether it's intentional or not, it's frustrating to watch because we're watching a lot of people give more bias towards non-Euro guys, and I think we should just appreciate what's in front of us. But that's just my thought on it. We don't need to get into that conversation because that's a conversation where I'm gonna need a lot of proof of the underlying themes of that, and I don't got the time to pull up the many clips. If you want to go look into that, go on the Twitter, because there's plenty of people. Like, I know for a fact Legend of Winning, shout out to you, man. If you are watching my videos of all You've honestly been one of my biggest inspirations in making these videos, and I think you're a great guy. But man, I got Jokic winning it. I think he's doing things that we have never seen, and he continually gets better. And honestly, Giannis is right there for me, and Joel Embiid too. Like, he's done fantastic. They've had incredible seasons. They all deserve All NBA first team. But right now, my pick is Jokic. Okay, so I'm dumb, and I recorded the whole video and completely forgot about the Rookie of the Year, the one thing that I know a lot about. And I've watched a lot of these rookies a ton because my team is a bottom feeder team, so I tend to want to watch the rookies that my team missed out on. And for the first half of the year, I was very depressed because my team didn't pick Evan Mobley, and Evan Mobley had a fantastic year. And the Rookie of the Year race has been one of the most interesting things, so this is going to be cut into the video at the very end before I go into my long tangent about how thankful I am for you watching this. Even if you're not subbed, like, still means a lot that you're listening to my voice. I don't know. But let's get right into this. There's 3 main candidates and there's no one else. I mean, we could talk about the all NBA rookie teams, but let's just talk about the 3 candidates that could actually win the Rookie of the Year: Scottie Barnes, Cade Cunningham, and Evan Mobley. And the case for Evan Mobley is because his team around him fell apart, and they were so good when they were healthy, and he was just such a key piece of that. And he was defensively remarkable. He was ahead of schedule when it came to offense. The reason why I'm not picking him, though, even though I wouldn't be mad if he got picked, was I think that the other guys had consistently been better. Not Cade, but the guy that I'm kind of leaning towards. Consistently all year has been fantastic. He has the opportunity to shine in the playoffs a lot more, and I think the spotlight's going to be on Evan Mobley, and I think the other guys are going to be able to step up more. And I know it's a regular season award, but I also think that Scottie Barnes has done a remarkable job in that Toronto Raptors organization. A lot of people saw that as a reach. Like, we don't need to forget that. Like, a lot of people are expecting Jalen Suggs to guarantee go to the Raptors, and that's seeming to be a great pick for the Raptors to go with Scottie Barnes. And I don't know, I'm a Scottie Barnes big fan. This is no disrespect to Evan Mobley. I think he's a remarkable player, and I think he does have a very, very strong case for Rookie of the Year. And I think, honestly, he's probably 2, because Cade Cunningham, as fantastic as he's been, and he is a major bright spot on that Pistons organization. I think the Pistons are set up to be a really good team next year if they make the right moves. And I'm not saying they're going to be like a lock for the playoffs, but I mean, they could be the last seed in the play-in, and I wouldn't be surprised by it. But he did have that slow first start, and I can't forget that. We're talking about the entire year. It's not the rookie of the second half. It's not the rookie of the post All-Star break, because if that was the case, we'd give it to Jalen Green. But let's not forget this first half, but let's also forget it when we talk about his entire career, because this award really doesn't matter. I just really want a reason to talk about these rookies. And with that being said, we're going to go with my winner, which is Scottie Barnes. I think he has been consistently the best all year. Not like when it comes to the rookies, but like if we were to average out like their peaks throughout the season, we would see Evan Mobley go up and then slowly decline. We'll see Cade slowly like start low, then peak. I feel like Scotty has been the most consistent player, and he's been on the best team easily, but I feel that he has contributed more to that than Evan Mobley. I think Evan Mobley was just more of a frosting, where I feel that Scotty is more of the cake, if that makes sense. I know Colin Cowherd makes that analogy all the time, but let's just get that out of the way. That's how I feel about the rookies, and let's cut straight to the outro, or where I talk about how thankful I am for you guys, because I am. Thank you. And I know that this isn't what I usually post. Usually I got the microphone right here, and I'm kind of getting excited and animated, and hopefully in this recording, me moving the microphone doesn't cause audio issues, because we're about 12 minutes into recording this, and if you ever see my eyes like look over here, it's just because I'm looking at the recording, and it's kind of hard. I'm not used to just looking into a camera lens. But thank you so much for watching. If you're at this point of the video, consider subscribing. I like making videos for you guys. I'm testing out new content, and if you guys like this chilled way back where I'm just holding a microphone, I'd love to do this. I kind of like the whole ramble and vent thing, and this isn't really going to be an organized video, and I'll admit that before editing. And thank you so much for watching. Honestly, I know I keep saying that, but We're only at 154 or 156 subscribers, and that's not a lot to a lot of people, but to me, it means a lot to me, because ever since I was a little kid, I never expected to like be making YouTube videos. I didn't really know how to. Editing seemed like a pain to me, but now I'm learning day by day. You could tell that my thumbnails are getting a lot better, but thank you so much for watching, genuinely. It means a lot to me. I don't mean to go on this tangent, but for real, have a great day or great night if you're watching this wherever you are. Thank you so much.